Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Kohala, Yabashim Yashab, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the brothers, apostles. This is real well behind the wheel, kind of impromptu. Kind of jump on this while the spirit kind of hot. You know, brothers dropped the video. LA brothers, elder brother Barak, Mawat Tazak. I always kind of twisted the brother name, Mawat Tazak, the head brother. The brother Mike, he dropped something too. You know, as far as, you know, brother recently got attacked, you know, with a knife. And they say, you know, it was a hit. You know, they say the guy had to been, you know, like more of a trained professional type killer. Because, you know, Jake, they mainly use guns. Somebody come and take you out with a knife. You know what I'm saying? Now, niggas in jail use knives because that's all they got, like stabbing weapons. But for you to really kill somebody with a knife, because one thing about trying to kill somebody, you try and do it quick and get away with it. And you ain't, you know, they give more time for attempted murder than actually murder. So your whole objective with, that's why guns are so, you know, because it's pow, you know, but to hit somebody with a knife, that you kind of got to know where arteries at, you know. Then, you know, the knife got to be a certain length. It got to be a certain, you know what I mean, sharpness to it. And, you know, and it can't be a bullshit knife, because you try to hit somebody with a bullshit knife, you know, that shit might break or something like that. So then this person, you know, the brother, you know, he was an armed guard, so he had his gun on him. So for you to feel confident enough to approach somebody, you know what I mean, with a knife, and knowing you got to drop on him because he don't really know you coming, you know what I mean, and you kind of like try to like take him out, that's like some, you know, professional trained hitman type shit, you know. So just analyzing that point, then you got the fact that you know, persecution season, you know, for this truth. You know, the Lord told us we're going to be persecuted, you know, for this word and believing in the truth. And at first it started out verbally, you know, because, you know, talk is cheap. Then, you know, I mean, as far as the apostles, you know what I mean, they've been through all types of shit, you know what I mean, in the truth. But, you know, brothers, is, you know, they still going through things, but, you know, it's time for brothers to go through it too also. You know what I mean? Because brothers' faith at the end of the day must and will be tested. And this kind of like the tip of the iceberg, you know. But, you know, Paul, he talks about different perils he been in, you know what I mean? Stoned, died once, you know, was brought back, thrown in prison, you know what I mean, people trying to kill him, perils of false brethren, he was shipwrecked. You know what it's like to be shipwrecked? That's some crazy shit, man. You know, like to be stuck in the middle of the fucking ocean for days. Like, I be watching little shows on stuff like that. You know, stranded at sea and all that shit, like, you know. And I'm the type of brother that be on the ocean, you know what I mean? I like, not lately, not a lot, but like, I be out at sea at times, 20 miles out at sea or some shit like that, you know. And yeah, like, so you got these different perils. Hey, one thing he mentioned, 2 Corinthians 11:26. You know, when you check it out, you get a chance. He said, perils of false brethren. You know, you got different perils. But, you know, those physically things that hurt. But, you know, like perils of false brethren, that's something that could really hurt you. You know what I mean? Because it could be somebody, you know, you got close to, you know, had feelings for, and you know they, you know, commit adultery with your woman or do some backstabbing shit, and that shit, I mean, that could hurt more than any physical type pain. But you know what I mean, we got to go through it all. Hey, the Lord went through it, you know what I mean? So it's a servant greater than his master. But you know, when it actually, see, you know, saying it and talking about it is one thing, but actually going through it is another. And we all got different things to test us. You know, certain things might not bother different brothers, you know. Some brothers, you know, ain't really, you got some brothers that come from that life, you know what I mean? Like they was gang members. You know what I mean? They was in the military, or they came up fighting. So that, you know, they been at war. They had bullets flying around their head before. They shot it out with niggas before. They might got bullet holes in them. They had near-death experiences. So, and nobody likes to be in a situation like that. But to certain brothers, shit like that is nothing. You know what I mean? But, and so the Lord, you know, he got certain things that he know, you know what I mean, that will be a perfect test for you. Hey, the brother, they was saying that Ayun, I thought he said Zion, but it was actually Ayun. They say he's more like a real humble, chill type brother. You know what I mean? Probably like, I don't know him personally, but probably more of the non-violent, easygoing type brother. But you gotta be careful. A lot of brothers that be like that do be more, you know, as far as like the quiet ones, you know what I mean? But, you know, the Lord know everything to test different brothers. I had to turn the AC on so lock. It's kind of muggy out here. Summertime rolling in. But yeah, you know, brothers do got to be on point. But, you know, at the end of the day, there's only but so on point you could be without losing faith, right, or being paranoid to where you making other brothers shook. And it's in the law where, you know, if you were scared to go to war, you had to like go home because they had to like let you go because they didn't want that spirit jumping on other people, you know. So fear kills faith, and faith kills fear. But, you know, to talk about it is one thing, but to actually go through it and do it, that shit is another. Especially if you ain't never been in no shit like that in the world. You know what I mean? You coming into the truth like, damn, what is this about? You know what I mean? And, you know, too, it's a faith tester. It's a faith, you know, it's a tester of faith, but also it could be that's what I was going to say. It could be a shifting mechanism that the Lord used, you know what I mean, to sift certain people out. Because a lot of people think, you know, the truth is a hangout. You know what I mean? A lot of people think, oh, the truth is, you know, it's sweet. You know, it says, thou coming to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. You know, and you got to continuously endure the different battles. You know what I mean? In your Hawashad, whether life or death. You know, whether you Joseph Arimathea with riches, or you a poor man getting tired and tested heavily, getting stabbed at, shot at, people drawing weapons on you. You know what I mean? A lot of brothers, you know, different brothers come from different walks of life, but, you know, certain men not really used to that shit, you know? And they like, oh, man, or like threats of jail. Some brothers never been in jail. They're like, man, jail? You know, but some brothers who come from, they be like, man, jail, that shit ain't that bad. You know what I mean? Their brother might be like, man, I've been stabbed before. Like, yo, like, I got shot like 6-7 times. You know, so certain brothers used to that trauma. But nobody likes to go through it. But, you know, the Lord knows he got different things to test different brothers, but it also could be a sifting. You know what I mean? Because, you know, certain men, you know, hear that and be gone, you know, and be like, yo. Then, you know, like, because for one part, it's kind of like, yo, all right, people attacking the camp, people coming up with guns and shit. You know, we about to strap up. You know what I mean? But, you know, you can't do that. Not that you don't want to be bringing guns to camp. You know, you trying to tap in more into a carnal type mentality. You know, and I believe under Great Millstone, you know, the order, if I'm not mistaken, but I knew that, well, from back then, I remember the Arizona brothers, they not the new Arizona brothers, it's like some older kid, they had brought guns to camp. I forgot what they named, way back, if you was around from back in the day, but they, you know, that was a thing with them, you know what I mean? But this ain't no carnal battle, it's a spiritual battle. So you tell a brother like, yeah, man, people coming up, try to stab a brother, you know what I mean, other incidents, and that make you kind of, especially you in a state where you could strap up at, you know, and now most of these states, you know, got concealed carry, even certain blue states that didn't have it down, they got, like Jersey, where I'm from, they ain't had that shit forever. But now, long as you ain't a felon in the state of New Jersey, you can strap up, no more than 10 shots though. You can't carry no more than 10. Anything over 10 is considered a high capacity magazine, and you could get in trouble for that shit. But they did pass a law where you could conceal carry. But, you know, the truth is being more hated. People, believers of the truth, is being more hated. And, you know, you just gotta stick in there. And if you, you know, to wrap it up, at the end of the day, if you was to die in this truth, because of this truth, just to die in the truth as a believer is a great thing. But to die because of the truth and over the truth is even greater. You know what I mean? What they say, precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints, the elect. You know what I mean? So, hey, the Lord probably could have a brother or two, if he wanted to, get touched or get taken out. Or not even taken out, just get touched. You know what I mean? To see your brothers, you know what I mean, going to stand. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Imagine Esau with his guillotines and all that shit, talking about something, if you don't take the charagma, this going to happen or that going to happen. You know what I mean? So, brothers, you know, just a reminder, you know, stay firm and stay strong. And shit is going to get thicker. Shit is going to get more serious. You know what I mean? And you might think, man, I was better off in the world. I was doing all kinds of shit and I wasn't getting attempts on my life like this. So, you know, but this what comes, hey, like how them gang niggas say, you know, this what comes with the territory, in a sense. You know, this basically what you signed up for, this part of it. You know, you ate it, it was sweet in our mouth, but in our belly it was bitter. So, you know, you got to embrace it all for the love and the gain of Yahweh Shem Yahashai and the kingdom. So, hey, with that, glad the brother, you know, Ayan, that's the brother's name, you know, put up some prayers for the brother when I go in the crib. But, you know, I'm glad the brother ultimately was all right, you know, and, you know, brothers getting through it, brothers supporting them, as brothers should, you know. And, hey, you know, let's keep marching on towards that mark and towards the receiving of that penny, which is the kingdom. And with that, hey, shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahashai.